Ovako, nalazimo se na Eurokonu zadnju večer kad su svi jako pripiti, uključujući mene i uključujući moju gošću, ali bez obzira na to mi smo odlučili napraviti intervju s njom. So, good evening, Cheryl.
Hello.
How are you feeling tonight?
A little drunk.
Oh, me too. So this will be a fun interview.
I think it might be, yes.
Okay, for the first thing first, how do you like this Eurocon?
Oh, I've had an absolutely wonderful time. Everybody's been really, really kind to me. The weather's been brilliant, the con's been great fun, and had a whale of a time, and the food's marvellous as well.
You said on your blog that it was one of the biggest Eurocons you were to, and that there was a lot of young people. Can you comment that?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with how many young people you've got here. For example, you let the kids in for free, which is an amazing thing to do. It means that we're getting a new generation of fans out of it. So I'm really, really pleased to see that.
How is it like to you to organize one con?
Well, it really depends on the con, you know, that some really, really big ones are an enormous pain that take many years out of your life. On the other hand, a little tiny con is falling off a log these days. We have a little local con in Bristol, the nearest city to me in the UK. It's 250 people, and you know, we maybe spend a couple of hours a month talking about it, and then it runs and it's all nice and easy, and then we go home again, which is an absolute pleasure compared to Worldcon, which can be years and years of really hard work.
So you think that Croatia is not really prepared for a Worldcon yet?
I think you've got a way to go yet. That really, before you can seriously bid for a Worldcon, you have to have attended a number of them, you've got to have worked on some of them, you need to have earned the respect of the people who've done it before, because otherwise they're not going to trust you to do it. Also, there's a whole load of things that you're just beginning to discover from what you've done at this convention. I mean, Svericon is very successful, and it's quite large, especially considering the size of Croatia. I mean, you've got a convention the size of the UK's EasterCon with a country that's not much bigger than Wales. So that's an incredible achievement. But this time you've learned a few things that Svericon hasn't done before. For example, you had the hotel for the first day and a half, and you didn't normally use that, so that's a new experience. You've had a large number of your membership come from other countries, speaking other languages. That's a new experience for you. You've had 4 guests of honor rather than 1, which again has been a new experience. So all the time your people are learning new things, and they'll get better con runners as a result of that.
But of course, you as an expert, you had a wonderful time, I hope.
Oh, absolutely, yes. It's been great. I mean, you know, one or two things go wrong, as they always do, but everybody has taken great care of me. And hey, I got to be on television for the first time in my life. I can't really complain.
Actually, it's a website, but it's same. It's
No. I got to be on Croatian television. They took me off to the studio yesterday morning, did my hair and my makeup and everything.
Oh, that's so great for you. I want to ask you one thing about Hugo Awards. You won 4.
That's right, yes.
Which one of those is your favorite one?
I think my favorite is the one that I won in Montreal in 2009. There are 2 reasons for that. The first one is that the other Hugos I've won have all been for editing magazines, so although I've been a large part of it, there have been other people involved in them as well, whereas the 2009 Hugo for Best Fan Writer was entirely me. Secondly, it's a really beautiful trophy. I mean, all the trophies are beautiful, but this one in particular, the base is made out of an actual piece of meteorite, so it's a real space thing. And also, I guess that was the one in which I finally beat Dave Langford to Best Fan Writer after he'd won it for like 20 years. And so David's a very good friend of mine. We've known each other for years, so that was a special thing too.
Was that Hugo the one that you haven't expected to have that year, or any else?
Well, yeah, I mean, you never expect to win. All the times I've won, I've been completely floored. But you know, Dave has been so successful for so long that nobody expected him to lose. So it was a real shock for everybody that I finally managed to beat him.
You have on totally unrelated topic, you have an internet shop with the books.
I do.
How did you decide to do thing like that?
Well, the publishing house came first, but I guess to go back to the beginning, a few years back I got denied entry to the United States, which has been a real pain, because it means that I can't go to a lot of the world cons, can't go and see the boyfriend, all that sort of stuff. And in order to get back into America, I need to be able to apply for a visa. And because most people in the UK, when they travel to the US, they get the visa waiver system, then the types of visas that you're eligible for are quite limited. So really I needed to have a business that would require me to go to the States and will be making money for American people. So I thought I would start a little publishing house and see how things went with that, and hopefully I would make some money from American writers. And then I realized that I had to sell the books as well. I didn't want to just sell them on Amazon, partly because I think Amazon needs the competition, but also, of course, if I sell them directly, I'll make more money out of it. And make more money for writers as well. So I thought I need to have a shop. And if I'm going to have a shop, why not sell other books as well? Because there are an awful lot of great small presses around the world that could do with a lot of exposure. I've been a fan of small press publishing for a long time, even back when I was editing Emerald City. Many of the best books that I found came from small presses, and that's still the case now. But for a small press, it's very difficult to get distribution outside of your home country. Whereas, that's if you're doing paper, of course, because you won't necessarily get a deal with a distributor overseas. It's expensive to post your books to a customer overseas. But if you have ebooks, it's really easy to sell them. So I started a store that specialized specifically in ebooks from science fiction and fantasy small presses. And we've got some really, really wonderful books in there. Catherine Valenti's Silently and Very Fast, which is up for a Hugo this year. Mechanique, which won the Crawford Award this year, and I think is a Nebula nominee. We've got some books on the Shirley Jackson shortlist. So, I mean, just because they're small press, it doesn't mean that they're lesser quality. They're really, really good books there. And they're available throughout the world. There are no region restrictions, so anybody in Croatia can buy them. And there's no DRM, so no restrictions on copying the thing. When you buy it, you own it.
So you're against DRM?
I am, yes.
We actually discussed this topic with Charles Strauss. In related note, do you agree with publishing free online?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, of course, that I agree with people not getting paid for their work. Most of the free publishing that I've done online recently has been with Clarkesworld magazine. I worked for them for 3 years. During that time, we won 2 Hugos. We've also had many works on the Hugo and Nebula ballot. Now, Clarkesworld is available for free online. Anybody who wants to read the stories can do so without paying. On the other hand, we pay professional rates to our authors. I say we, I'm not actually part of it anymore, and the credit should all go to Neil Clark, who founded the magazine in the first place and is still the editor. Now, how does he do that? Well, first of all, he gets a certain amount of advertising and sponsorship. He also sells ebook copies of the magazine through Amazon, and we get revenue from that. There's a whole load of different strategies that he gets in order to get in income. The whole point is that by paying professional rates, we get really, really top quality writers. As you'll see by the award nominations we get, whiskey. Therefore, although the magazine is free, it's really good quality and the writers are getting paid and people are launching their careers. Ken Liu, for example, who's got 2 stories on the Hugo ballot this year, he was published in Clarkesworld long before he became famous.
Have you read anything of Croatian writers?
I haven't read very much as yet. I do have last year's Parsec, which I'd taken a quick look at. But as you know, in this year's Kontakt, there's an anthology of Croatian writers put together by Darko Masan and Tatjana... Yes, whose last name I have difficulty pronouncing after too much whiskey. And I'm looking forward to reading that when I get home. and possibly I'll talk to Darko and Tanya about doing an ebook version of it and trying to sell it to the Americans.
Oh, that's really nice. We have to finish.
Oh.
Okay. So for the end of our interview, do you have plans to get wasted tonight?
No. Because I want to see more of Zagreb tomorrow, and if I get totally wasted, I won't be able to get up in the morning.
Oh, that's perfectly reasonable thing to say. And do you have plans to return to Zagreb?
I certainly hope so.
And the rest of Croatia?
I've been very impressed with Istrian food, so I quite like to visit there. And my friend George Martin has told me that Dubrovnik is an absolutely gorgeous place and everybody must go there. So I'd like to see that as well.
I'm glad to hear that because I'm from Istria. And with that beautiful thoughts, we will finish our interview. Thank you very much, Cheryl. I hope you will enjoy your evening as much as I do.
Thank you very much.